Okay, so we're looking at modulus graphs. There are two types of modulus graphs. First, the one where it's y equals the modulus of f of x, so it's the modulus of the whole function. First of all, draw the complete graph of y equals f of x. And then what you need to do is anything that is below the x-axis needs to be reflected, so it's above. So reflect anything below the x-axis, so it's above the x-axis, and then rub out anything below the x-axis, or better still, redraw it. One thing is make sure that your cusps are pointed. So this is a cusp here where it was this shape, this was the original graph, and then this bit is reflected above the x-axis. So when I reflect it above the x-axis, this little bit here becomes pointed. Be very careful that it doesn't look like a curve. And like I said, make sure that you don't just redraw it here and leave the original. Make sure you've got rid of anything below the x-axis. So that's the first type of graph where it's a y equals modulus of f of x. The other sort of graph is where you've got y equals f, function of the modulus of x. So it would look, the equation would look more like this. So it's y equals a modulus of x minus 3, modulus of x plus 4. Now for this bit you don't draw the whole graph, you only draw the bit of the graph for the positive x values, because if you're taking the modulus of x, you're only taking positive x values. So if I was drawing y equals x minus 3x plus 4, this would be my basic graph. But because it's the modulus, f of the modulus of x, I only draw the positive x values, and then what I need to do is reflect those in the y-axis. So I've got this shape, and then I need to just reflect this in the y-axis. So this point was at 3, 0, so this point is at minus 3, 0, because it's the reflection. Do make sure when you've drawn your graphs, whatever it is, that you always check that you've labelled all values. So for this one, I need to also label where it crosses the y-axis, and similarly for this one, make sure that you've labelled where it crosses the y-axis, and that's not drawn very well. It should be symmetrical about the y-axis, so that this is a line of symmetry.